everybody, Namo here. Today we are finishing up the series on the Walmart Headmaster reissues. And we're working on the one that I think, out of the 7, is the best solid figure of them all. Weirdwolf. So, here is his box. And like always, it's G1 styled, G1 inspired, with Titan's Return product placement on the sides and the top, the original G1 Headmasters artwork on the back, and included is his stat sheet. I didn't ever point them out for anybody else except for Hardhead, and now Weirdwolf. Never pointed that out, but yeah, they're there. I guess I should have pointed them out. I just forgot about them. But here is Weirdwolf himself. And just right off the bat, his color scheme, it looks a little strange on my computer right here. The yellow is correct, but this is actually like a aqua, like a greenish blue, but on the computer, like on the computer screen, it's like a navy blue. It's really weird, but yeah, it's I don't know how it's coming across to you guys, but it is like a darker greenish blue, not a navy blue like what's being shown on screen. But let's get into his headmaster, which I forgot to look at his name. Really? Like, Monkso? Is that even right? Here's his Titan Master. I'm not even going to continue trying it. That's just... So here's his head sculpt. It's not the best as far as... Like, the sculpt itself is great. You know, there's a visor. I can't get it to show. There is a visor for his eyes. There is a nose. There is a mouth. And a very predominant chin. But it's all just washed in this sea of red. So he's got this brilliant light gray helmet. Looks great. The visor looks really good. I just kind of wish his face was a different color. But it is, similar to his G1, so I can see why they did it. So here is... Here is whatever his name is. And again, this... Like, when I look at, like, this, underneath these lights, it is a darker green blue. When I do like this to you, it's a navy blue. So, we got that coloring on his arms and his legs. He's got the light gray for his body and for the entire helmet of his head. Let's see. Very faintly, he does actually have a nose and a mouth. Again, he can't see it because it's all washed red. And it's so... God, I keep dropping him. He's very slippery. He's very, very slippery. But as you can see, the face is so tiny. Like, it's like this big. Like, if you're... my whole face would be his helmet. And this is how much of his face is showing. That's... Alright, let's fold him up and let's just not worry about him anymore. He's very slippery. I've dropped him like 3 times. Okay, so here we have Weirdwolf. Let's take a look at his weapons. The only one that came with the sword, and it becomes his tail in alt mode, beast mode. Just it's such a great sword, and I have been complaining about their weapons having these hollow spots. This one is very robust and sturdy, and just it feels great, it looks great. I'm a sucker for swords, and that is a wonderful sword. Here is the weapon that the Titan Master can sit in, and he can hold it, and you can do stuff with the Titan Master. I never really care for these weapons, but as far as a cannon goes, that is a cannon. That is a good cannon. It's not as good as Hardhead's, but this is a wonderful cannon. And even in hand, like, okay, it's kind of hard for him to hold it sometimes, because he has this weird notchness, like he has kung fu grip. Like his hands don't fully close, and some of his fingers splay out, so it doesn't make the best of holds. Like he holds it at an angle. You can't make him hold it straight on. See, because again, he holds it at an angle. It won't stay in the proper way. In this hand, it works pretty good. But the other hand, it doesn't. I'm right-handed, so I usually give the power weapons, the big weapons, in the right hand, and I usually display him with this cannon in this hand and the sword in his right hand. And that's how I usually display him, because that's what feels right to me. It is a good-looking cannon, good-looking gun. Let's take these off and just take a look at robot mode. So I could go through all the articulation, ball joint shoulders, bicep swivel. He has a very odd elbow, more for transformation. He does have wrist movement as far as it moves up, but you get this thin hinge. It looks so strange. No wrist rotation. Absolutely none. You do have waist rotation, although because of this butt flap, there's not much movement. That's about as much as we can get. And hips are on a ball joint, so they can go anywhere they want to go. He does have knee bend and ankle movement, ankle rotation. He has a moving toe, like heel up. Oh, friction joints. Sometimes friction joints are the bane of my existence. But ball joints, friction joints, they're made so that you can play with them, they can pop loose, and they don't actually break. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. So, like I said, he's got more movement in his feet than any of the rest of them do. So, great robot mode. And honestly, when I got him, see, in package, I don't know if you can tell by the bubble, but he comes packaged in beast mode, in wolf mode, which I will get him into now. We are going to flip up his head. We're going to open his wrists, or his forearms, put his hands inside and close them up, and then we're going to just turn his front paws around, and same on this side. flip that one up, put his wrist in, close it, turn that around. Now we're going to open his back here, and we're actually going to separate him, pull his insides out, and stretch him out. Now there's slots there and tabs there, and they just slide in like that. And then what we're gonna do, because this is the part that just blew my mind, we're going to take his, I know he's upside down, and take his shins and move them up to his thighs, and we're gonna snap them in place. Oh wait, it doesn't actually tab in on this one, does it? No, it does not. So then now we've got these heels, we fold them in. Trying to get this to, there we go. We just do the same on the other side. Pull his shin, move it up to his thigh, fold in his heels, and then just angle his feet down and around so that they all work together. And we can put whatever his name is back here in the back, sit him right there. Dang it. I really got to get used to where the angle of this camera is. Sit him right inside, close up his back. There you go. And then shove his tail up his butt. And we can take these little pieces here, plug them in right there for the wolf mode. Now when I first got him out and started playing with him, I looked at his hind legs and I just thought, oh, these are terrible, absolutely horrendous. They're weak, they're loose, they're floppy, they're not going to hold him up. And then with the transformation to get him into robot mode, just taking his whole thigh and just putting him down here to sturdy his legs up. I love a transformation you don't see coming. I love a feature that you wouldn't ever think about. This I would have never, ever considered. Just move this thigh piece down and sturdy up this weak little shins, and just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And then of course we got this beautiful beast mode, wolf mode, whatever you want to call it. It's the alt mode. He has a movable jaw with teeth, silver painted teeth. He even has a tongue. The hinge is painted red for his esophagus. Just, you got this molded detail underneath. I know it's kind of really hard to see on this camera, but it's like diamond plating underneath this white. So it's just, it looks like layers. I mean, it is layers. Just gorgeous, gorgeous. I love this figure. Absolutely love this figure. And like I said, I originally was like, oh, these legs are just terrible. But transforming him, messing around with him multiple times, he's so good. There's not too much for front paw movement. It definitely doesn't bend up, which is a little bit of like a, but not too much, because the rest of this is just great. He's awesome. Highly recommend you guys get Weirdwolf. He is definitely a must-have. And okay, he does have movement in his thighs. He has movement in his knees and his shins, and he has rotation just everywhere. His legs are incredibly posable. Like I said, front paws don't bend up too much. His head does move from side to side just a little bit. It's a little wiggly waggly. That's it. Nothing much more than that. And then, of course, the mouth. And just transformation is beautiful. It's not simple. It's definitely a little bit complex, but it gets you involved. It makes you go, "Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. That's an interesting movement. That's pretty cool. I like that too." And you can also plug his cannon underneath him if you want, instead of on top of him, so that it just so much. I love this figure. Love this figure. I've gone on too long. There's lots of bloopers because I can't hold on to things. So, as always, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. My handles are at the end of the video in the outro. My links are in the description. You like, share, subscribe. Just ring the notification bell so that you can see anytime I put out anything new. Keep up to date, keep watching, and until next time, thanks for watching.